Kindness Alliance. And the goal of the Alliance is to provide resources that are easily and readily available to those who really need them most. So those kids that are struggling getting their parents, their coaches, and really any other adults that can really help them through a tough time. And, having gone through the pandemic, even pre-pandemic leading into now, I can't imagine what that time in their life, what the youth and teenage life is like now, going through school, and everything that comes with being a teenager. So I think it's a beautiful time and couldn't be a more important time in October. You said National Bullying Prevention Month, as well as World Mental Health Day on 10/10. So it's a great time to be speaking about this. No better time, and I'm very excited to be partnering with the Choose Kindness Project.
Kevin, I reread your poignant Players Tribune essay today from 2018, and I also was revisiting some of DeMar DeRozan's words. And one of the many thoughts that I had was just about the universal nature of this. So how do you think athletes sharing something that is so deeply personal helps to reshape how mental health is viewed?
Well, I think it's really been a beautiful thing to see those in the public eye. And like you said, athletes. I mean, athletes are looked at as superhuman in so many ways. And for me to see somebody like DeMar, as you mentioned, Malika, step up and saying that he battles with something pretty much, every single day with his depression, and it gets to him, that opened the door for me to say, hey, listen, if DeMar can expose himself at this level, with all that he goes through, and being where he's from, being a Black man in America, like, damn, I feel like I can do this too, and pay it forward for that next person who may need it. So I feel like in a lot of ways when I see him, like he helped save my life in a way, right? So I think it's amazing to see others step up. You see Naomi Osaka, Simone Biles, you see Michael Phelps before that, Dak Prescott, so many different athletes within this space stepping up and sharing their stories. And you just never know who you're going to affect. And again, like people in our setting, people in our position, it's not like anxiety or depression or mental illness looks at a dollar and says, oh, we're not going to go after somebody who's successful. It doesn't think like that. This is something that doesn't discriminate. And I think with people in our positions where, we're looked up to as superhuman, and those who, play sports and kids love, and we have PSAs where we can press a button and it's getting to tens, 20, hundreds of millions of people that enjoy our sport. I think it could be used for, a lot of good and pushing, and eliminating the stigma, but pushing the message forward that it's okay to be vulnerable, and it's okay to, struggle with these things, because again, it doesn't discriminate, and it touches everybody at some single point in their life.
It certainly doesn't discriminate, and there's so many layers to what you just touched on as to how different communities respond to and interact with this topic of mental health. But you said something in there, DeMar DeRozan, in a sense, you said saved your life. Does he know that?
He knows that. Yeah, I've told him offline a number of times, but it's funny. Every time I see him now, whether he's in, Chicago, whether he's playing against us here, whether it's in the summertime, I give him a big hug and I tell him I love him. It's we're such an elite fraternity in this league, 450 players. But again, it's not just my life he affected. I was able to tell my story because of him, and hopefully affected so many other people's lives. So you just never know the ripple